Hello, everyone. I think we're all ready for today's lesson. Part of this is going to be talking about life because everything is connected. It doesn't matter. I know we're focused on credit repair, but life happens, and you're going to have to be able to evolve and do things to repair your credit. Really revolving around how your life is going. I want to read from the Laws of Success. I just turned to a page, and for some reason, the exact page that I turned to fits with what we're going to be talking about. And what we're going to talk about is, what I'm going to read real quick from the Laws of Success from Napoleon Hill is enthusiasm. You can do it if you believe you can. Enthusiasm is a state of mind that inspires and arouses one to put actions into the task at hand. And it does more than this. It is contagious and virtually affects not only the enthusiast, but all whom they come in contact with as well. I want to share my story about this is one of the things with enthusiasm that you have to have, because if you don't have this when you're running a business, when you're trying to accomplish something in life, nothing's going to work for you because you're going to, people talk about having willpower, and willpower will only take you a certain distance. You got to be enthusiastic. You have to create your own enthusiasm sometimes. But let me give you some examples with employees over the years, especially when my wife and I first started our company back in 1990. I remember when we got our first employee, I think it was in 1992, and we wasn't able to pay that employee a lot of money, but that person, and they worked part-time for us, but that person said that one of the reasons why he even took the job was because he just had felt the energy from my wife and I that we were trying to get something accomplished. We were trying to move our business to get it somewhere, and that it just made him feel good when he worked for us, when he did things for us. And what I've seen over the years with all of our employees is that because we have a high level of enthusiasm throughout the company, we want people to succeed. We want people, even if they only work for us for a little bit and they move on to work for somebody else, no matter what they do, we want them to be successful in life. It's not about us. And so what we've seen is that people will work harder for us because they just feel that they want us to be more successful, because in turn we've helped them become more successful. And I've also had this with business associates where other business owners, they would call me for advice, and they would ask, how should they accomplish something, or a hurdle that came up, and they would call and ask my advice on it, or they would invite me to lunch, and they would want to talk about some things that are going on in their family. And because they just felt like my personality, the spirit that I give, that I put out there, the aura, is something of enthusiasm that no matter what, I'm not going to, if they're going through hard times, I'm not going to help dig a grave for them to even go down further. I'm going to try to lift them up no matter what, no matter how hard the times were for myself, no matter how hard the times were for other people that are around me. No matter what, we're going to be looking up instead of looking down at the ground. So in today's lessons, we're gonna talk about how life really affects credit repair, because and I've seen it. I mean, with dealing with hundreds of thousands of people that have either sent me emails or interacted with us at different workshops, or have seen us online. They I see that it's not just about having the information. It's about getting the person pointed in the right direction to be able to accomplish the goal of credit repair. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to point to your left. Point to your left, and I want you to look to the left for just a second. I want you to imagine yourself as three individuals. Now you can come back centered and look at me. And as you think about it, and the reason why I have you look off to the side is because that's a technique that we use in hypnosis to allow you to come out of yourself for a second. So now I want you to imagine yourself as three individual people, and who you are now, that should be easy for you to imagine, who you want to be, and who you were back in the past. Now, and I'm looking at my notes here. The reason why I want you to focus on that is because what you should be focused on every day is to be who you are. For some reason, a lot of people either live in the future of who they want to be, how they want to change their life, and tomorrow never comes. So you're never going to get to be that person. And a lot of people live in the past, off of the past mistakes, off of the thing, they just relive everything that they've done in the past, so they're never able to get things done today. So what you need to do, and this is a very important lesson, and this is a lesson that I learned, is that you need to be who you are now. And you need to focus on being the best that you can be right now with whatever you have right now, because that's going to be the way that you fix the things that you need to fix in your life. And what you need to understand is that who you are now, are you a destructive person? Are you destructive financially? Is that who you are? And do you want to live being financially destructive? That means that the decisions that you make are leading to you having problems with your credit. Are you willing to live with those consequences? Is that who you are? Are you that type of person that wants to be irresponsible? Are you the type of person that are very comfortable with making bad decisions? Because if you are, then that's who you are now. And it's going to be very hard for you to change and not be that person. I'm not the type of person that's going to tell you that everyone can repair their credit, everyone can live well financially. I'm not going to be the person that's going to tell you that, because there are some people that are like they have something built in them to be very destructive. And there is nothing that I can say, nothing that anyone can say, no pastor, no, they can look at the Bible and read it and do whatever. No matter what, that person's going to be very destructive in their own life. So there's nothing that they can be able to do. But I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you specifically, and you answer those questions. If you are living with bad credit right now, are you the type of person that wants to be destructive financially? Do you want to live with bad credit? Do you want to live with the consequences of bad credit? Is that the type of person you are? Are you comfortable living with bad credit? Is that who you are? Because if that's not who you are, then who are you living as right now? Are you living as the person you want to be, which is more destructive? Or you're not even living as that person. You're probably thinking about being that person, but you're most likely living in the past off of your past mistakes, and you just keep reliving them. So now, at some point in your life, and I'm an older person, I just turned 49 this year, 2017. At some point in your life, and this is probably going to catch the attention of older people that are my age. At some point in your life, you are either, if you don't fix your situation, and you're not living as your true self, you are going to destroy yourself and possibly the people that are around you. This is simple fact. You see it in the news. You see people that have either harmed themselves because of the poor decisions that they've made in the past, or they went out and hurt other people and then harm themselves. This is just simple facts. People don't like to hear this, but I'm telling you, I'm giving you a warning. If you don't do something about it, you're going to destroy yourself and you possibly destroy other people around you. Now, when we bring this full circle, having good credit and having money is healthy. And if you don't put yourself into that, into a position of having good credit and having money, you are not going to be able to move forward in your life. And if you're older, you're not going to have nothing for retirement. You're not going to have any way to sustain yourself in the future. Now, I don't want this to be confused. Just because you have money doesn't mean money and good credit doesn't mean that you are fully healthy, like you have a full, healthy, well-balanced life. We've seen plenty of people that have money and good credit destroy their lives. So I don't want that to be confused. What I'm talking about is that one key component to you being able to move forward in your life is to have your credit and have your money situation under control, because then that will allow you time when things happen in life. And that goes back to what we were talking about, how life just happens. Cars break down, people get sick, funerals happen, people need you to assist with things that happen in the family. If you have your money and your credit in line, and also different opportunities that could come about. If you have your credit and money, and that's in a healthy, if that's healthy, it'll allow you to be able to help. It'll allow you to be able to invest more in your future. It'll allow you to be able to just sit back and relax because you know things are taken care of. So, who are you right now? Who are you? We go back. Are you living as the person in the past? Are you living as yourself right now? And if you say that you're living as yourself right now, are you financially destructive? Because you have to put those two together. So if you are not where you want to be financially, not where you want to be credit-wise, and you say that you are who you are now, are you sure about that? Because if you are sure about that, then you might have a destructive personality. Or are you living as who? Are you always thinking about who you want to be? So those are the three different people that you're probably living out right now. And just to give you a little bit more on how living in the future can destroy you right now, is because you won't never take action. You'll always do things and you'll never finish them. You'll see something new, or you'll read something new, or you'll see something on TV that's flashy, and it's supposed to be this new way to become a new person, but you'll never become that person, because you need to understand that tomorrow never comes. So everything that you want to be, you need to be that person right now, and you need to start acting as that person right now, instead of thinking, oh, in 1 month I'm going to be a better person, or each day I'm moving towards being that person. You need to be that person right now, and then you need to do everything that that person would do every day moving forward, not doing little pieces to become that person. Because what will happen is you will not have any enthusiasm, and you will not follow through. And when other people don't follow you, you're going to start going backwards, and you're going to start thinking more about the bad decisions that you made in the past, and you're just going to drop off. I don't really, some of this stuff, I'm just reminding you because you live it all the time. I mean, there was a point in my life that I lived that. I mean, I admit that I learned my lessons very quick. But before we finish out here real quick, let me tell you about something that happened to me in the past. I was always trying to study business at a very early age. And at the age of, I was 16 years old. I had just graduated out of high school at the age of 16, and I was studying real estate because I had, back then, in 1986, real estate was on TV, and I would see all the people making money with real estate. So I wanted to be in the real estate business, and I had bought different programs, and same thing that you've probably done, to try to get rich quick stuff. And but one thing that had happened is I had luckily got connected with a Mexican guy, and I can't remember his name, but he actually showed me. We sat at a desk at his office in Dallas, Texas, and he taught me about real estate. And then he took it a step further. He took me around and he showed me how he was buying real estate from couples, and and how he would go to the courthouse, and he would show me how he would look up the properties to see, and he specialized in buying properties from couples that were getting divorced. And so he showed me exactly how to do it, and so I had all the knowledge and everything on how to do it. But one day I went to his office, and I had said, I'm not going to be working with you anymore on learning with the real estate. And he had said, what are you going to do? Join the army? And I had looked down, and I had actually had joined the military. And it was a shock to him, because he was like, I've given you everything that you need to be able to become successful. He had showed me how to buy real estate without even having any money. And I was like, what the problem was, when I think back to that time, I wasn't living as who I was. I was not living in the past, because I didn't really, I was young. There wasn't many. I didn't make many mistakes as a teenager that some kids make. But what I was living in was who I wanted to be, and I didn't take the lesson of I needed to be living as who I was at that time, because I was searching for something that was really, I had these big visions of things, but if I was living as who I was at that time, at that time I had turned 17, as a 17-year-old kid that was studying real estate and was looking to become successful at real estate. If I was living as that person instead of as something that I wanted to attain, and when I say who I want to, living as who you want to be, what happens is that if things are not lined up to be that person, and you don't have a clear and concise picture of who you want to be and how you're going to get to be that person, that day will never come. And that is what had happened to me at that time, because I would not have joined the military if I would have thought that what I was learning, and if I was taking in what I was learning at that point, and I was 100% who I was at that point, I would have never had joined the military, and went on a whole different path, even though I did get to where I want to be, and maybe that was in the cards. But I probably would have done exactly what he had told me to do, and I would have been successful that way also. So luckily for me, it did work out, and it worked, the path worked out for me, but there was a lot of turns that happened with it, a lot of ups and downs that happened with it. And but so I'm hoping, I don't want to confuse people too much, but this is, all of this stuff is related when it comes to credit repair, and when it comes to living life. All of this stuff is connected, and we all need to pay close attention. And I'm even, I'm no perfect person. Even to this day, when I wake up, the first thing that I want to do is I want to make sure that I am who I am now, so I don't get sidetracked and start thinking of mistakes that I made in the past, or things that I want to do in the future. Because if you do the simple things, the day-to-day things right now, you will attain the goals that you set for yourself in the future. Now, hopefully, well, I know it's good information. I want to invite everyone that is listening to this, if you haven't already done it, is to click the link either above or below this video and grab my free ebook, 3 Steps to Increase Your Credit Score. Because if you are living with bad credit, this is a very good place for you to start. If you want to start repairing your credit, it is an excellent place for you to start. So click the link above. It's and get my free book, 3 Steps to Increase Your Credit Score. Thank you for your time.